Alright, and we are in. This is a best of one between, in the bottom left corner, RUZ Nano playing Protoss and in the yellow trunks.
And the top right, the NSSL champion of 2012, the green Terran Iznobest.
Yes, he is from team Altijd Raak met Sjaak. Not exactly sure which Sjaak that is. It's probably not the Sjaak that we know from the Spring Invitational, but some other Sjaak. I should ask him. Might it be the one, the actual Sjaak?
Possibly. We should ask.
Definitely. If he wins today, we'll ask him over on Skype and see which.
Oh, so you can just go pause the game and ask him.
Okay, hold on, guys. This is important. This definitely justifies a pause. Yes. All right, Terran versus Protoss. We haven't seen this matchup today so far.
I wonder if we get to see Colossus drops if Nano has been inspired by yesterday's WCS matches.
Yeah, maybe. Pretty cool. That would be great to see. Alright. Alright, here we go. Both players scouting now. Iznobest scouting just a little bit earlier, but both of them will have the chance actually to go inside their opponent's base, although I'm not sure. Iznobest might be just quick enough to wall off his ramp, but I don't think so. No, this pro will probably get in.
Oh, it's going to get in. And it's going to see absolutely nothing too strange. Just the barracks, no gas yet for Iznobest. And on the other hand,
classic Iznobest. This is what he always does. Like I said this last time, but this is actually true. So he waits until you drop down one gas, and then he builds this. But he did it wrong. He did it wrong because usually he builds an engineering bay. This time he chose to build the supply depot, maybe because supply depot is the only thing that would fit. And the thing is, the supply depot doesn't do all that much against the pathing of these probes there.
Well, they do have to make a little bit of a detour, so the gas income will be reduced. And if Nano had some build that was banking on having exactly the amount of gas from one simulator, that will be a bit delayed.
True, but if that had been an engineering bay, then the pathing for the probes would have been terrible, up to the point where you say, well, I'll just take the other gas as well. And then Iznobest, of course, throws down an engineering bay between the other gas as well, so it definitely throws your game off as a Protoss player. And I have some first-hand experience with that.
He did that Iznobest is going for a expansion quickly, immediately after the barracks. Nice. Nothing extremely unheard of. In the meantime, we see that Nano did make a zealot out of his gateway. So that's one thing you can do with that is make sure that your opponent doesn't do anything cheeky like build an engineering bay in your natural position. If you skip the zealot in order to get your cyber core or your nexus out more quickly, then you'll spend a lot more time getting rid of any block like that.
And we also see other possibilities that this zealot unlocks, which is a bit of a push. Zealot walking over all the way to the other side of the map, and will be joined by not only the mothership core but also a stalker soon. So a mothership core, stalker, and a zealot. That is not a.
The bunker is done, and the zealot is deflected. It may even die. It turned around.
Yeah,
and there it goes.
Yep, and the stalker arrives just late to the party. He's like, oh shit, that guy just died. Let me just run back to my base. There he goes, and another scouting. Oh, this also classic Iznobest. This is why I lost my match against him. I had my plan set out. Like I was all ready to attack, and then he has one marine that he sent around all the way around the edge of the map, exactly like this marine, which waltzes into my base and starts shooting my like refinery. And I panicked and just attacked and lost. This is something that Iznobest does, yes. At a funny timing, he sends one marine all the way around the edge of the map to scout his opponent's base. And like you see, very often you get in.
He does see the Twilight Council being built, so even gets a probe, I think. Did he get a probe?
Let me check. Might have gotten a probe. Yeah, 2 died, so.
Yeah. So that already makes the marine worthwhile in terms of mineral costs, but also seeing the entire base, seeing the Twilight Council being built, that's of course very useful. We see the blink is coming up, as well as 3 more gateways. So when those complete, along with the upgrade, we may see some blink stalker regression coming out of Nano.
Yep. Of course, there's other possibilities with this Twilight Council. Iznobest might be thinking maybe there is going to be charge lots, but well, it's not a very big chance of that. Of course, he might also consider the possibility of a Dark Shrine going down after the Twilight Council, but that would be a very, very late Dark Shrine indeed. So I do think that Iznobest has reason to believe that there's going to be Blink Stalkers.
Yep. And there's another scouting marine going out onto the map. It may just be going to the watchtower, but there's a stalker there, and that's not a good decision for that marine.
That stalker took a little bit more shield damage than necessary, but
it was not not immediately convinced it could actually take on the marine. So it was starting to run away, and it was like, hold on, I can take this guy. And then went ahead and just zapped the marine.
Zap. Pretty good.
We'll see a Robo Bay completing up for Nano, as well as a Forge. So we may see an observer coming out to spot some high ground if he wants to blink in. We do see a bunker being made on the high ground for Iznobest, exactly at the spot where it would be convenient to blink in from all the way below. So I think Iznobest is expecting blink aggression to come up and is preparing accordingly.
Yep, you're right. He's on top of it. Pretty good. He's I would say significantly ahead in terms of supply as well. A small difference, but it's a significant difference, I think.
I think actually Nano is abandoning his plan. He hasn't made a forward pylon. He doesn't really have many stalkers, just 4, and he's making a robotics bay. So I think he figured out he was being scouted and is just going for a different approach now.
Yep.
But he will have to deal with this push coming in.
He doesn't have the watchtower now, so he doesn't see these units coming. He might lose these two stalkers. In fact, he definitely will. No, Blun can just blink away. He has to retreat all of them though. Run away because you will not. Oh, and there we go. Concussive shell for the Marauder slows down the stalker so they can get caught by the other units. This is a dangerous push.
There's a third coming up for Nano, and this is the most inconvenient time to make that third, because there's really a push coming in and he wants more units now. He just has a bunch of stalkers against Stimped Marine Marauder with Medivacs.
An inconvenient third.
Yeah, so it is going to go down. Hopefully he cancels this on time. He does, just in the last moment. Very nice.
Nice blink forward to get some Medivacs, but he only got 1 and lost a lot of stalkers in return, so his position did not improve.
I think in the end. So now, premature frozen overcharge, but does its job in scaring away the Terran army.
So Iznobest has now contained his opponent on 2 bases, working on Colossi. Where does he have these Colossi rallied? Look at that! He has his he has his Colossus rallied to where his Observer was rallied to. So that's always a dangerous move. Unfortunately, he's probably gonna get away with it now, but. Yeah, there we go. He notices it on time. But this is how people lose Colossi. That's a very common
it's happened to me as well. Just rally your first observer out to the opponent, and then forget to reset the rally point and have Colossus just wander in. In the meantime, there's a drop from Iznobest. There's a frozen overcharge going off, but 3 of the gateways have been unpowered, so production is very much stifled for Nano for the time being.
Okay, but I don't think that this was too bad for Nano, because he did use those warp gates to warp something in right before they went down, so he didn't lose that production cycle. Or did he now? Are these warp gates recharging as they're unpowered? Not sure.
I don't know if the...
We can't see, right? I don't think we can see.
They've been repowered now anyway. If we look at resources though, it's going up to 800 minerals for the Protoss player. So he does have a little bit of surplus, maybe due to the fact that he couldn't use those warp gates for a while. The third has been re-established for Nano, but there's a new push coming in. But this push isn't really that much bigger than the previous one. And there's now 2 Colossi out on the map, with third one in production, and the Colossi also have range. So I'm not sure if this next push from Iznobest is going to do much. If we look at the upgrades, it's 1 attack, 0 armor for Iznobest, and Nano has the reverse. He has 1 armor and 0 attack upgrades.
Indeed, and like you said, this push is really not that scary anymore. Oh, this is great. Look at this observer. Spots the 2 Medivacs running into... Oh, look, and there's a blink forward. A bit too early, the blink. But of course, they're there, of course, to scare off these
Iznobest is ballsy. He's just moving the medevacs around to go to a different position and drop anyway. And he does have enough to scare away the stalkers, but now the rest of the army comes in. But in the meantime, we do see that Iznobest uses his opportunity to run his main army into the third.
Nice.
Kills the pylon that's warping in and is going to get to Nexus and then back out. Yep.
Wow.
And he just loses a single marine in his main army. Maybe we'll lose the medevac to stalkers. No. That was a great great 1-2 maneuver with the drop and then the main army coming in.
Classic. Classic double-pronged attack. Just poke over here with your stalkers or your medevacs and then attack on the other side. This is why it's very difficult to play against, of course. Especially if you're Diamond League or below.
Yes. So maybe at the bootcamp we will learn how to handle these type of attacks.
Yeah, actually, I think that army positioning on the map and in terms of map vision and army positioning on the map will be one of the topics that we'll be discussing on during bootcamp. So yes, check it out. There's another drop.
Also, droppers getting cleaned up, but this is also why it's very important to keep vision out on the map. If you have both watchtowers, you can know if the main army is approaching, and as long as the main army is not near, you can keep your units spread out across your bases, so you always have enough stalkers to deter drops and have a few zealots and colossi spread here and there to deal with drops. And then as you see the main army approach, you'll have to reshuffle it, but as your default position, you could have units spread out between your bases as long as you know that the danger is mostly coming from drops.
Yep. Of course, this does mean that you have to be fiddling around with your groups, with your hotkeys, your control groups. Because if you got all the units spread out, but they're still in one control group, and you just want to move one group of units around it a little bit, and then you can't use your control group for that.
No.
And on the other hand, if you split them up in different control groups and you want to call your entire army together, you have to remember to call all your control groups.
But you can do it, of course, you can do both. You can have one control group with everything and then have maybe 2 or 3 smaller control groups that only contain the units for a specific base.
Yep. Good call, actually a nice idea.
We see a big push coming in from Iznobest once again. He's added a lot more Marines and Marauders, also added 4 Vikings against the Colossi, but with the number of Colossi there's a total of 4 Colossi. It's not going to do that much, and a Storm is just completing, and there are 4 High Templars with 1 Storm each.
Yeah, but there are quite a lot of Marauders in this force, and Storm is not that good against Marauders, so I'm curious to see. Look at this, a couple of Marauders running into snipe 1 Templar. Actually, they succeed, and all of them. Oh no, some of them died. But good move. This Iznobest a very dangerous player, but he is, I think, wise to run away.
Nano is actually pushing out quite aggressively. I don't know if that is a good idea, because Iznobest is quite a scary army, but he is not willing to take the straight up fight. Maybe saw the Templar and decided that he does not want to go up against the High Templar without ghosts just yet. And ghosts, 4 ghosts are being produced. Personal cloaking is coming in, but first we're going to maybe see an attack by Nano up the ramp.
Yep, Storm goes down. Lots of Storm go down, but they all go down on Marauders, and like I said, not that effective against Marauders. And, there we go, a recall, and I think that was a very good move, because this army would have decimated, I think, the Protoss army.
Yeah, the Storms only hit a small part of the army, so most of it was standing a few steps further back on the high grounds.
That Mothership Core only had 4 hit points left when the recall happened, so that was very close.
That's what we call good timing. And now it's Iznobest's time to push again. This time with Ghost. He has 2 upgrades at the moment. If we look at Nano, he's only at 0-2, 0 attack to armor. And here we go. One of the Colossi is a bit up front. It's going to get taken out.
EMP on all of the Protoss units. Lots of damage goes on, and I think that the concave that Iznobest has here is totally wrecking Nano's army.
Yeah, just 1 Storm went off. It didn't really hit that much, and the Terran army just marches over the Protoss. It's GG.
GG.
And Iznobest goes on to the round of 8.
Round of 8.